You want to read?
Why? Have you, had an experience with that?
12 years at YouTube. I've seen some pretty awful shit.
You had any experience with that?
What do you mean personally?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
It's never good.
My boss at YouTube was an alcoholic. Mean and f***ing drunk. She used to come in hammered looking to wail on somebody, so I'd provoke her, hoping she wouldn't go after the smaller channels. Interesting nights were when she just finished watching Vox.
Yeah, they used to just outright demonetize our videos. Till they realized that violating public single-party consent laws could cause more damage. Then there was this one time this tranny complained that we filmed him without permission at a public town hall while he's advocating f***ing pumping kids full of and puberty blockers. YouTube execs gave us the choice to blur every face in the whole f***ing video, or said we could just skip the time and have it outright removed. Said choose.
Well, I'd have to go with just removing it there, Vanna.
We went with blurring all the faces.
Why?
Because f*** them, that's why.
And your account received a hard strike anyway.
Yeah. So what is it? Crowder's got some kind of rebellion complex or something? Some kind of a f***ing general problem with authority? Is that why I have to put a half-Asian lawyer on retainer full-time?
I didn't know you had.
Yeah, well, I did.
You want to talk about it?
No.
Hey, Crowder. I don't know a lot. But you see this? All this shit. The demonetization, the hard strikes, the video removals, the policies. It's not your fault.
Yeah, I know that.
Look at me, son. It's not your fault.
I know.
No. It's not your fault.
I know.
No. No, you don't. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
With me. Not me, not you, don't.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
.com.
It's not your fault.
That's an old intro that we had
was.
there.
A classic.
We'd have to update it. It's a little bit your fault.
It's
A little bit.
It's a little bit your fault.
There's a Crowder rule now.
Back then, you were just some screwed up kid who didn't know anything.
Now
It's all your
you're a
fault.
man.
Yes,
It's your fault.
It's your fault. You used to wake up the dog when she'd fart in her sleep.
So, look, glad to be with you today. We have a really big show, a lot to get to. Just to let you know, we'll be doing a show today, tomorrow, and Wednesday.
Boom.
Long-form interview with Megan Kelly exclusive. And the Dan Lemon Taint Juicy.
Ew.
So, sorry.
Off the top of the show.
Lemonade.
Lemonade, yes.
No.
That's where
No. Please, no.
more of a lemon drop. So,
Smear.
yes.
Lemon smear.
I will say, smearing a lemon. I know it's a tough day. I know it's been a rough weekend, and our hearts really go out, obviously, to everyone affected there in Waukesha. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, Wisconsin. I'm hoping that we don't see a whole lot more of this, and I hope that you do not mistake levity here, because that's our job for,
Yeah.
with not taking this seriously. But it is our job to inform and to continue making you laugh, hopefully. And you know what? We're not going to pull the easy way out and do an SNL or something and just decide to do the clapter. So prepare for some wildly immature dick jokes.
Oh, what?
And we will talk about Waukesha. There's some developments there.
Yeah.
Take a guess. Before we go on, by the way, this show is live Monday through Thursday, this week through Wednesday, just so you know, because with the Rittenhouse stuff, there have been channels being removed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern. If it's not here on YouTube, it's on Rumble. It's on Mug Club. You know, you guys can, anywhere you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple, Android. I'm only letting you know this off the top so that you don't lose touch with us. We will let you know if we're missing a show, like this Thursday because it's Thanksgiving, or as I like to call it, the day that the final people won after everyone else was warring before that, but we ignored that part of history.
We settled it down.
Yeah. The day the people won who didn't bury you up to your head and let the army ants eat you alive. So you know what? Thank God for the guys in metal hats and red beards. First, G. Morgan Jr. here. How are you?
I'm well. How are you, sir?
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm doing all right.
I like your shirt.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I like the shirt too. We have some new shirts available at ridershop.com if you're looking for Christmas ideas. And of course, Gerald sells wine because he's an alcoholic. Quarter Black, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good.
Hey, sorry, today's show's going to be a little rough on you.
It's okay. It's all right. I'm just kind of tired.
They don't speak for all of you. They don't loot for all of you.
That's true.
That's true.
I didn't get anything out of it. What
No,
the
I
heck?
know. You got to start. Look, all I'm saying is when you leave this show, somewhere a Nordstrom rack should be missing a suit.
Oh,
Yes.
He's the one guy that would get arrested, though.
Yeah.
I would.
You'd have to explain it to them and show a picture of his dad and his
I'm
wallet.
easily
like,
picked out of a
No,
crowd.
hey. Like, catch and release.
Go on, you little fishy.
Let
Go
that
on,
one go.
little fishy. Go on, my little rainbow trout. It's like, don't call me that. You prefer halibut? No, I don't like any aquatic analogy.
Catfish.
Pescatarian sons of bitches, law enforcement. We have, you hear his voice, Dave Landau. He's going to be at the Funny
Ahoy.
Bone in Liberty, Ohio. This coming weekend, before Thanksgiving?
Wednesday, the night
Wow,
before
dude.
Thanksgiving. I'm going to be there, and there's only a few tickets left.
You're an insensitive asshole.
I know. But that's why it's good. It's the night before. Biggest bar night of the year it used to be.
If your kid spills his milk, what do? Beat him up? Was that
What do you mean, really? Like you don't know?
Yeah, he doesn't know.
How does he not know?
You're the alcoholic.
How does a drunk not know the biggest... Oh, yeah, he
I
doesn't.
get drunk on wine, not booze.
That's true.
Doesn't
Liquor.
change anything.
Beer.
Just
So they
because
don't-
it's in the Bible.
Well, Jesus did make wine.
He
so.
did turn
do
water into wine. He was a walking
Don't
party
give him a
city.
horn.
He wasn't a snob about it.
It was total Jesus.
No.
It was duty-free Jesus. It was duty-free Christ.
No.
Yep.
No. No.
No.
He was also a great source to pick up some Cubans. So, I don't mean Cuban cigars. I mean some of,
Literal-
some
yeah.
of his apostles, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Little guys.
They were lineage. So here, look, this just passed before we get to Waukesha and before we get to
Paulito.
Walnut Creek. Wahika? What did you say?
I said Paulito.
Oh, okay. Did I? It's Waukesha, right?
Waukesha.
Am I pronouncing
Yeah, you're
it
right,
correctly?
yeah.
Okay. Because
I'm pretty sure it's
Waukesha?
not Polito.
No,
I
I'm
was
pretty sure it's not
back on the Cuban Jesus thing.
Oh, okay.
Of course
Well,
you were.
Keep it
we're
on.
moving
We moved
on.
on.
Oh, that's what we're doing.
Despite the 4 glasses of Pinot you had before this show. Which button?
Those were big pours.
Yes, those were big pours. It was the Pinterest glass, like, not until I've had my glass of wine. Hate those like bumper sticker.
I know.
Not until I've had my second cup of coffee. It's like, oh, so you're a non-functioning bitch until you
Yeah.
have your stimulants.
It's wine o'clock somewhere, so your husband has sex with his secretary?
Yes.
Oh.
I had fruit for dinner. Liquid fruit. Like, oh, you lush.
I hate you, soccer mom. Driving your kids around with your thermos of wine.
Their kids are looting a Walnut Creek Nordstrom.
No.
So, last week the House passed. We didn't have much time to talk about it because we were talking about the Rittenhouse trial, which $1.7 infrastructure bill.
Trillion.
But the Democrats know that Americans still really aren't into it, just to be clear. They think that government is overreached. And so people will say, well, they support individual policies. If you ask Americans if they like free stuff, they'll always say yes. Of
course.
But inevitably they get uncomfortable when they go, oh, gosh, you just keep printing money. And what's the debt now? 1,900 trillion? Ugh. Maybe I don't need Medicare for 30 and up. So
They're going to invent a new number to get what we hit.
yes, exactly.
You're going to be like cajillion?
Yeah.
Is that-
We
Count
just
that high.
broke math.
Right. They'll just be like
Yeah.
the kid in blank check, only with their taxes.
yes.
And a garbage can full of ice cream. Oh, great. How much does that cost when it goes through the government? $1.3 trillion. So $1.7 trillion. They've decided to create some propaganda to get Americans on board with a gross offense to the legacy of Schoolhouse Rock.
We got infrastructure passed in the House. Time for Build Back Better. That's what I'm about. So, Mr. President, Madam Speaker, House Democrats, let's do this. Let's do this. I'm a bill.
Screw the vice president.
She's not even in there.
Not even in there.
Lie.
Oh, right.
Oh, we didn't make this as a parody?
No, we did not.
No, ours
Oh, I
would be
thought-
way better.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, that's funded by your tax dollars.
Oh, good. So,
Yeah, yeah,
so they just named off everything they've done wrong?
Yes, exactly.
Wow, good.
Yeah.
Immigration, healthcare, stuff we're not good at.
Things you don't like about us.
I want to see that old bill come back and be like, hey, wait, hold up. Y'all are full of shit. Oh, yeah.
I've been hooked on smack since the 70s.
Yeah. And because of your 3-strike policy laws, crack put me in the clan. They didn't have pants that fit, so they were raping me all the time.
I'm a white bill, so the bail was very high.
There's no, you're saying there's no, do you mean to say, Mr. Bill, that there's no catch and release for white bills? No.
That was the worst.
I know, it's so bad. And by the way, this is my question to you. We are going to be talking about today. Hey, the media's been saying, what if Kyle Rittenhouse was black?
Sorry.
No, you don't need to be sorry. What if Kyle Rittenhouse was black? This is what everyone is saying in the media, just to be clear. We'll talk about Waukesha, all of these things that are happening. But this is a narrative. If he were black, I bet you'd think really differently. Not only do we have a track record of thinking the exact same and actually encouraging law-abiding citizens, black, white, yellow, red, I don't know. I don't know what.
Purple.
You can't even say it. Black, red, and yellow. Black and white, they are precious in his sight. That's the key there is precious in his sight with the Jesus song.
Yeah.
But
Can't say it.
we take more umbrage with the yellow.
We do.
The point here is, don't tell T.I., is that I think it's a silly argument, and I think that conservatives need to be really clear about the fact that the Second Amendment applies to everyone, the First Amendment applies to anyone, property rights apply to everyone.
Yep.
And this, you know what? I think I'm getting to the point where people talk about defunding the police. We'll talk about Walnut Creek. This is something that cannot be solved through police reform. When you're talking about the rampant crime and looting, self-defense needs to be important. Now, let me be very clear. This is never a call to violence. You know very well that I implore people to be peaceful. But you absolutely should not be sitting ducks, whether you're white or you are black. And we'll have some stories to get to. But before that, during the Thanksgiving turkey pardoning, this brings us to This Week in Biden, there was a little girl who decided to... She decided to send the floor, wax off, when alleged pedophile Biden decided to Biden her.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
That was
There you
quick.
go.
Quick.
No, she was like, what?
It's like children have an instant revulsion
Yeah.
to former vice president.
Yeah, just karate chopped the sense of danger.
Yeah. Now show me, send the former vice president.
Can I smell you?
Hashtag hell no, not me too.
Do you want to shower
long.
till you're 9?
You want to play with my leg hair?
Come on.
Oh, geez.
I want to go pardon a bird.
I love kids sitting on my lap.
You want to eat this bird with me?
You're pardoning the turkey. You're supposed to eat the turkey. What? What are we doing? Well, I guess a ham. I don't know.
This
That'll do.
They pardon one, they eat the other. It works.
Yeah, I have no idea.
is this turkey BLM?
Yeah, this turkey. Is it BLM free?
He was holding
that,
the
bacon,
turkey
lettuce?
hostage
Mayonnaise.
until he got more kids.
What did this turkey do?
Is it non-MAGA? I don't know. Huh? Where's the kid I can sniff?
Does it have info on Hunter's laptop?
Is there a diary?
Is there a dumpster near a grade school I can throw? I need a place to throw my gun. So, speaking of crime that's been rampant, this happened this weekend, and I have a few points that I'd like to get into here. It's not that there was a looting at a Walnut Creek, I believe.
Mass
Nordstrom.
looting.
Mass looting.
Mass looting.
that's
It's
a
not
little.
that- it's
Yeah.
A lot.
It was like 80 people.
80
I
people.
don't know how you coordinate that.
It was
don't
like
either.
80
It's
cars.
a Facebook group.
They didn't even
I'll get you guys
carpool.
in.
Yeah, it's pretty. They don't even hide it. It's just looting Nordstrom on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Event.
Invite. And
RSVP.
half the answers are maybe attending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe looting.
It's an open group, too. It's weird.
Everyone's 10 minutes late.
They didn't even carpool. So look, let me show you the clip. This is coordinated in a suburb, I guess, of the Bay Area at a Nordstrom. Is it Nordstrom's or Nordstrom?
Nordstrom.
Nordstrom. Okay, because people got to think about that.
Gerald, I thought he'd know.
Walnut Creek. Here's some footage of it in case you missed it. It happened yesterday.
Caught in 4K. Oh, it's caught in 4K. He's got 2 masks.
At least he's safe.
You voted for this.
Lane.
Well, now's the time you get the shit you voted for. Oh yeah!
Enjoy it.
Good.
Just make sure they don't
Man.
shoot them, dude.
Like a well-organized operation, people sprinted to waiting cars carrying bags.
Would we even call that a sprint? That's a light jog.
Saturday
That's a
night.
speed
I saw
walk.
people running down the street. I probably saw 50 to 80 people
Yes.
in like ski masks,
Good job, Brad.
crowbars, like a bunch of weapons.
In one dramatic scene, a car veered around a police SUV to make a getaway, but another officer stopped him with his gun drawn. 3 people were arrested. All are charged with robbery. One of them is also charged with being a felon in possession of a gun.
77 knots.
How hilarious would it be if
3
that
of
guy
them?
just stole the Samsonite luggage and didn't fill it up with stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He might have.
Shit, I just need to carry on.
That's a missed opportunity.
What if they were just a flash mob? They were like, I don't know, we couldn't get the dancing coordinates down, and we just started robbing
We
stuff.
couldn't coordinate to Thriller, so we just took stuff.
What a great commercial for Amazon. Stay
Yes.
home and be afraid.
Yes.
Order your stuff from us.
Who cares if you pay for Prime and it shows up 9 days late with no recourse?
COVID, you know.
Did you see Walnut Creek? Also, this is my issue here. It's similar to with MSNBC when they followed the jury bus. It's not that 50 to 80 people looted a Nordstrom. It's how little accountability must be feared that they acted that way. What has led up to that? And we know that. That's billions of dollars in damages. That's thousands of arrests and looting and arson throughout the years. It is incredible when you think about just how little concern there is for the law at this point. That's what this is showing you. Look behind you. There's the tipping point. Also, guess what? The police showed up. They can't catch them all. These guys weren't even trying to hide their license plate.
Yeah.
It's just lazy crime.
Just get some tape. You put it
Duct
over.
tape your license plate.
Come on.
They were so like, you know what? Well, a couple of us will get caught. I bet you that they all stole something under $1,000, so that would be it wouldn't be considered a
They got
serious
calculators
crime.
out. They're like,
Yeah.
And they said, they probably have a few of them who stole significantly more, the high ticket items, and said, we'll make sure that we split up and these people get priority so they can leave the quickest and won't get caught. And some people are trying to say this isn't looting or rioting. This is organized crime. You can't find a gang large enough to do this, let alone, what, you think the Crips are going to loot a Nordstrom?
I wouldn't even do it, because when I get home, I bet you nothing would fit right.
No.
It doesn't even look good on me. What a
you
waste
get caught
of a
in
day.
the changing room.
It takes me forever to find
I
stuff.
don't know.
Dave's like, is there anything else I can try on?
Yeah.
Oh, hi, police officer.
That's why Old Navy knows they're safe.
Exactly.
Unless there's an Amy Schumer lookalike convention down the corner, they don't need to worry about anyone looting their stuff.
Oh, you could take everything from Old Navy, and they'd be like, 832.
Ah, jeez, who cares? Not quite enough.
Do you even want that stuff? I don't.
I don't know. I really need an American flag shirt that's rainbowed to fit King Kong Bundy. I always wanted one in my wardrobe.
Can you imagine being the guy walking out of the store just having paid for your product? Go back in. I do believe you have a sale going on. I'd like to make a return.
Flash sale going on. It's not Black Friday, is it?
I have no idea. Here's the other issue. Okay, if you want to defund the police, fine. You can shoot looters on site if they go into your store. Because keep in mind, employees were assaulted, injured, pepper sprayed. You don't know when people come in with ski masks and crowbars, or they come in with blunt objects. Some of them, allegedly, we don't know. We don't have all the reporting. Were armed, but they didn't.
Why
use any
can't you
firearms.
shoot somebody who pepper sprays you? Isn't that?
I mean,
this is
because it's California. I'm just saying. Look, if we don't want to have a culture of police, and you want to defund the police, I don't think that defunding the police or increasing funding for the police would have nearly as much of an effect as rioters and looters knowing that business owners, property owners, mothers, fathers, wives, daughters have the right to defend themselves and their stuff. Because what people say is, well, life isn't as important as property. Once someone has invaded your property, the chances of them taking your life or injuring you beyond repair go up dramatically. And I can't know. I can't know that the 50 people who come in ski masks with crowbars are just, they're down on their luck. They need to get their essentials at Nordstrom.
Can you imagine being a clerk? Like, we've all had those jobs. You're just a clerk at Nordstrom, and you're just like, oh, this day's taking forever. Couldn't possibly get any worse. And then 80 people run in and pepper spray you, and you're just like, why?
Like crowbar to the head. Oh,
this is, I just wanted to.
I don't even have benefits at this job.
Some guys on a smoke break.
The Von Dutch hats are over there. Just leave me alone.
That guy also killed someone. Some of you can relate.
Right. For seriously, we're at this point. Do people think it would be morally wrong if a shopkeeper there just opened fire?
No.
I don't. I don't. And guess what? You wouldn't see it happen again. You wouldn't see it go from, the 5-finger discount, $1,000 or less. Some people get beaten, by the way, at these pharmacies. People don't understand that because they try and stop someone from stealing their livelihood. They get hurt. You can read more stories than you could read in a lifetime. All references are available at louderwithcrowder.com or in the description. And then they go, you know what? Let's go with 5 people and then 10 people and now 50 to 80 people. You stop it along the way if people have the right to defend their property. The second you put someone in fear for their life, you forfeit your right to safety. And that includes you forfeit the guaranteed security of your life. Especially if you go in with ski masks and crowbars.
Yeah.
That's how you solve this problem. But instead, we're living in the Harry Callahan world, the commissioner's world, where they will catch and release violent criminals, which we'll get to in Waukesha in a second. And instead, they'll condemn you if you defend yourself as a white supremacist. Guarantee you.
Yeah.
If one of those shopkeepers who got maced or who got hit, panicked, shot someone, killed them, they would be vilified just like Kyle Rittenhouse. Does anyone doubt that for a second? You want to play that if Kyle Rittenhouse was black? Let's play if one of those shopkeepers shot the person of the wrong color.
Yeah. By the way, I hope San Francisco keeps this policy. I hope it empties the city of all the good people that live there, move somewhere else.
I know several that have.
I know. I hope the rest of the country looks at it and see this is what the policy does.
Right.
Go for it. Implement it. Go ahead.
Well, it's not just there. Letting out violent offenders and defunding the police doesn't work. Who knew?
Well, until
criminals... I'm glad everybody. I hope this is worth it that Hillary lost and we've had to deal with this crap. Like, at what point does America get to stand up and be America again? Because the thing we're about to get into is beyond disgraceful, and I'm just pissed at this point.
Yeah,
it's enough. It's just enough. You can scream white supremacy, you can scream whatever you want. It's complete bullshit.
Yeah,
it's not real. I've never met a Nazi in my life.
Right.
Yeah.
But I've met plenty of criminals, and I've had many guns pulled on my face.
Yes.
Well, it's
many
like they're doing things
I've been mugged
that
a
are...
couple times, to be fair. One of them was a skinhead.
Well,
wow.
One of them was me.
He's in the room.
It was Dave's.
No, I mean, I've been robbed at gunpoint, though, several times, and I was in the wrong neighborhoods and whatever you want to say.
It was your fault.
Boy,
it was my
fault. You shouldn't have been wearing that short skirt.
Well, and I was wearing a sign that said "rob me."
Yeah, and roller skates.
Well, it said "rub me," but they read it wrong.
There was a fold in it.
Yeah, they pulled out his Velcro wallet and was like, "Well, all I got's these pictures and $1."
All right, let me kind of give you a briefing to mention the policy in California that might have led to this in the Bay Area. I hate that term. It's like we're the Bay.
The Bay.
I hate it.
So it's Diana Becton.
What's a wharf?
She's the DA there. And she stopped prosecuting low-level drug possession and shoplifting offenses. She stopped prosecuting disturbing the peace. She instructed prosecutors to consider the needs of looters before charging them. Here we have Chesa Boudin, the San Francisco DA, ended cash bail, decreased sentence for prior convictions and gang affiliations. He banned prosecution stemming from pretextual traffic stops or statements given by officers with, quote, racist behavior. I don't even know what that means.
Why be a DA?
Yeah.
You're like, you know my job? I don't want to do none of that.
Yeah.
That's all you're doing.
Right, yeah.
Great.
No. Yeah. What are you going to do?
Let's not prosecute people. What do you want to do? I don't know. Whatever.
Let's call it a day.
The thing to me that's so funny, stopped prosecuting quality of life crimes, and that includes things like petty theft. Quality of life. Well, hold on a second. Who's quality of life? What does that mean, quality of life?
Yeah.
It's like, well, my quality of life isn't as good as it would be if I had this Vidal Sassoon.
It's a little better.
I mean, I was...
if you're stealing a loaf of bread and 80 people robbing a Nordstrom is a very different...
It's a very
I think it's Aladdin out here.
They want you to think it's Oliver Twist.
Yeah.
I'm just pickpocketing for some unleavened bread. No, you're not.
No,
you're not.
No.
No, you're not. You're going into a high-end department store to steal high-ticket items. They have insurance. This is something else people say, right? They talk about the businesses burned to the ground. Let's use Kenosha as an example.
Yeah.
Oh, they have insurance. Okay, how long does it take to rebuild that business. Insurance doesn't always cover, usually does not cover, the lost earnings during that period of time. You have to lay off employees. They have to go find work. Guess what? They might go work somewhere else. You have to restaff. Not to mention the neighborhood of Kenosha, probably not a bustling metropolis of farm-to-table fare and coffee shops at this point. So, no, this idea that, well, we burn it down, insurance covers it. Again, you don't care about the actual victims. In the case of looting a store, someone owns that store. Someone owns that car lot. Someone owns that restaurant. Someone owns that gas station. You are harming them. You are removing their livelihood. And I know it's easy to sort of disconnect from it because of the corporate world, man, but you have to understand, up until very, very recently, taking away someone's livelihood, people fought wars over that. They fought wars over land just because they thought they could grow crops better. Yeah. Look at what the Native Americans did to each other. Look at what the Mohawks did. Look at what happened in Canada with the Iroquois and the Hurons. This is why they turned to settlers coming in, right? They turned to English who would protect them in Quebec because they had the French who were siding with, I believe, the Iroquois. They said, look, we need some funny English guys with red beards and hats to protect us because they would fight over, back then, land, access to waterways. You were fighting wars over livelihood so you could provide. Yeah. And now we act as though taking away someone else's livelihood or harming it, depending, varying degrees, I understand, is not a crime worthy of someone defending it. Yeah. We need to reset the culture. And people will say it's a call to violence. It's not a call to violence. It's a call to violence to ask people to riot in the streets like Black Lives Matter in New York. It's not a call to violence to say, hey, look, stop stealing people's stuff. Stop pistol whipping people and pepper spraying and crowbarring employees. Yeah. And damaging stores. And by the way, the people in those stores take care of business.
Right. One of the things that I saw there was consider the needs of the rioters when charging people. Consider the needs.
Screw them.
No, seriously, like you brought up a good point a second ago. The rioters, their needs are consequences. They need to have consequences for their actions. Otherwise, they're going to think they can get away with something that they can't, and they're going to get shot in the process. Right. You need it now so that you don't have to learn it the hard way later.
Can you imagine that? Like if I acted up as a kid with a parent, like if my dad came to me, Stephen, and this happened, did you light the shed on fire? I did. What do you think you need? Some whipped cream? I think it's a wooden spoon, son. That's what.
Did you burn down the neighbor's house? Yes, I'm one of the voices of the unheard.
Yes.
Yes. Can we make us s'mores, please?
Yes. No. You don't understand. You misunderstand, Father. Arsonry is my language.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
It's just reparations.
Yeah, exactly.
Fighting for justice.
By the way, the researchers just sent me this. Boudin, he was elected to public office and funded by George Soros' political action committee.
Oh, well, look at that.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Look at that.
Wonderful.
Nice.
Good. I'm so glad that very powerful people are crippling America and no one cares.
And they accuse everyone else of being a Nazi, whereas he was like, the Jew is in the attic.
Jeez.
Not a joke.
Crying out loud, yeah. I think Anne Frank even wrote like, that asshole Soros.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this is weird. This is not the language. It's not as flowery as the other chapters.
I know. Tried to hide in his attic.
I know. He didn't mean to. Blah, 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 blah.
He's the one that was like, she's up there.
Yeah, she's up there.
They didn't even ask. They just said, hi, up there.
He was like, up. Yeah. They're like, we were just coming by to offer you this Christmas basket. But thanks. We'll go take those Jews.
You're one of the good ones, Soros.
Nazi fags.
By God, Soros is one of us.
Yes.
He plays by his own rules, but he finds those Jews.
Good man.
He's got a real nose.
So scenes like this have been very common in San Francisco under Boudin. Here's a more individual clip, so you can relate to it.
Casually.
Well, we know he's not stealing belts.
Just right out the door. Shut up.
I like the dead dream boutique she owns.
Yeah.
It's like of all the places you can rob, it's this person who's barely hanging on.
Yeah, sad.
You got this in 32? No. Why? Because you racist and shit?
Shut up.
Who doesn't think that clip would have ended better with a blam, 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 blam?
That'd be way better.
Yeah, I mean.
And then the pants are 50% off because they're stained.
Yes.
No, you hike the prices up.
Oh, that's
They
true.
look cool. They're textured.
Yeah, they are textured.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What are you
You sell them to Little Nas X.
What are you doing? I'm creating scarcity. So,
do all these pants fit me? He took literally everything in the
he just
window.
grabbed the stack.
I'm going to take some of these. I'm gonna take some.
And he was so, and again, he was so nonchalant about it.
Oh, yeah.
There's no fear of repercussions.
No running at all.
He probably walked outside, saw a cop, and said, "Good day, sir," in his Dave Chappelle white guy voice. Hello? Just going pants shopping, officer.
Oh, we told
you know how it is.
Well, we told the country to act violently and to constantly cover their face in fear of a cold.
Yes, yeah,
while simultaneously defunding the police.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's all. None of this seems like a bigger thing.
No, you meant to say encourage them to act mostly peacefully and stop the spread.
That's what I meant. Yes,
that's exactly what you meant.
To
I speak Nazi, so I can understand. What you
well,
actually
that's
meant to say.
called a dog whistle.
Yes, it is.
I say flatten the curve and peacefully rob.
And I say Austria. Look it up.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
They've never gotten it right.
Not a good look, man.
So I just want to make sure I understand this clearly because they're confused.
Yeah.
So they
did not pay for the pants.
They decriminalized crime. Now there's an increase in crime and organized lootings. So the DA's criminal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure I understand.
That's accurate.
All right.
Yeah.
There's other words.
Yes. But that would be more offensive.
Yes.
It would be more offensive to use a word that would denigrate somebody than it is to steal thousands of dollars worth of merchandise. It is ironic that people who declare themselves the word police have so much disdain for the actual police.
Yeah. I feel like they put the Joker in charge of police there. It's like, he's like the kingpin. So this guy's getting kickbacks. Just don't prosecute any crime.
I've been called silly. It hurts. But getting hit with a crowbar, not as much.
It's you can those. That's an ouchie.
Yes.
Sticks and stones may hurt my bones, but names are 9.
But names will always kill me. That's the word.
You will not ask questions. I believe that's how it goes.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
Go back to the sticks and stones part.
If
Stay in your lane.
pepper spray and crowbars were candy and nuts, it'd be Christmas every day.
Yeah, well, it is at that Nordstrom.
Yes. Everybody gets something.
This is one hell of a white elephant. You know what? I don't got to pick or steal. I just steal all the shit.
Ho, ho, ho. Talking to you, bitch.
Jeez.
By the way, there's this new crowbar to table restaurant. Have you pow? Welcome to Oakland, bitch. No, I'm sorry. We just saw the looters. We should. They sound Turkish.
Yes,
so,
very Turkish. Like gobble gobble Turkish.
Yes.
Like pardoned.
Yes, like pardoned from Joe Biden.
I'll stop. I'm just so angry today that I'm trying.
It's okay. It's okay for you to be angry.
Trying to hide it.
It's okay for everyone to be angry because now we got to get to the Waukesha attack. So yesterday, you all know that a car plowed through a Christmas parade in Wisconsin.
Oh, it wasn't a gay pride parade, so no one will care.
Right, exactly. No one will.
The media said an accident.
Mm-hmm. Yes, an accident.
Yeah,
you drive at.
Well, we have some more info here on the suspect today, and there was a lot of misinformation on both sides going out yesterday. I would say 95% confident in what we've confirmed, so I want to make sure that we have it accurate for you. At least at this point, at the point of broadcasting, 5 killed, over 40 injured. I'm not going to show you the video. I don't want to show you the video.
No.
The video is very suspicious because he does swerve to avoid some people, then deliberately hits other people. The first story we were given was, it was another event that had taken place, a stabbing or some kind of violent crime, and then he was fleeing, and that was it. That was all we heard. Well, that's obviously not true. This wasn't the route he would have had to take to flee, and he was proactively seeking out people to kill. If you watch the video, which, look, take my word for it, I don't encourage you to watch the video. It absolutely is. This is just heartbreaking. I get a pit in my stomach even thinking about it. Kids were, as far as we know, could have been killed. But here's the thing.
But why is that? I don't mean to cut you off, Mr. But why is there a defense to it right away? Why would you jump to defending like, look, guys, he was just fleeing a stabbing. It wasn't on purpose. There's nothing to defend.
You haven't heard of a good old knife fight?
Come on,
Mackay Bryant. That's what they do, and by they I mean the kids.
Yes.
The kids. It's all TikTok and knife fighting these days.
But so what? So he stabbed somebody and was trying to get away and was driving it.
He's an influencer.
Yeah, I mean,
really.
We're just crying out loud. What are you doing? How about you do your part and open up the door to your Neiman Marcus for those in need?
Yeah. Well, Dave, you know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're providing cover.
Of course.
Or at least they're praying and hoping, like, oh, please, God, don't let this be in relation to the Rittenhouse verdict.
Well, when is the media going to start getting charged for the stuff that they've caused for the last 2 years?
Oh, no.
Yeah, it would be never.
Never.
Well, they should be, because there's a difference between freedom of speech and inciting complete crime and violence.
Wait. You say inciting is bad. I thought they knew that.
Yeah.
They've done it.
They want to claim that we're inciting violence by saying don't allow yourself to be
Yeah.
a victim, whereas they go out and say, white supremacy, folks, the Kyle Rittenhouse jury shows you that white people can kill anybody in America. What if he was black? We're going to get to that in a second. Also, we have an example right here of how the media treated it very differently. So it just said person. Actually, at the time of this broadcast, or at least when I started this show, CNN still doesn't have a description of the suspect. They did not, as of 10:30 Eastern, a.m. on Monday. So either they're not doing their job, they're really bad at their job, or they're lying. At what point do they cease to be useful? At what point do we realize that they are not news organizations?
20 years ago?
Yeah, you would think so.
Yeah.
One of the last time Ted Turner rode out in a steer. Here's the police scanner that reported the suspect. This happened. You would think they'd have access to it, considering that we did.
Well, it was a Darrell Brooks. That rings for anything.
Moving apron, I ran that subject. Lost found his ID in the car. He is suspended. Looks like he's at at least $199 on the system.
Copy. That's who he's identifying. Soft fat, lighter skin, black male, dreadlocks, red shirt, blue, no shoes.
Now, I guess what CNN would have preferred the description be, he's,
you know, with the hair.
Just grab a dog whistle.
And
He's a Nordstrom shopper?
Yes.
Nordstrom shopper.
Not so much a shopper as
gifter, gift receiver.
Yeah. Gift
aficionado.
Yes. Appreciator.
He is a self-philanthropist.
Yes. So this didn't stop leftists and media right away from jumping on to white supremacy Kyle Rittenhouse narrative. So journalist Chris Wiggins, who is not from a Dickens novel, tweeted, "It's okay. The driver in Waukesha was afraid for his life and defending himself from the unarmed holiday crowd. That's Wisconsin law now." Actor...
that's awesome to say.
Yeah, actor Angela Belcamino said the driver from the incident in Waukesha will claim self-defense. It's just the new normal. Writer Janice Hoff, have we learned what color the driver was so right-wing media can decide if running people over at Christmas parade was terrorism, mental illness, or someone acting in perceived self-defense? Okay, look. Do you not understand? We cannot find common ground if you don't realize the difference between Kyle Rittenhouse cleaning up graffiti, providing medical care, and then being chased down by pedophiles, girlfriend beaters. I can't say wife beater because they don't put a ring on it. And serial criminals only shooting people who violently attacked him or tried to kill him, and somebody who deliberately plows through innocent women and children at a parade. Do we honestly want to act as though if you act like the only differentiator is race, you're a racist? And this is the prime... Look, let me put a fine point on this. The biggest problem that we have today, the biggest problem that we have with our media, is that it is intensely racist.
Absolutely.
Yes.
They are intensely racist. I do mean anti-white as a general rule. And I'm not someone who goes around and says, I'm proud to be white, because I didn't do anything to be white. I'm not proud of my skin color. I'm not ashamed of my skin color. It's sort of a neutral, it's not a character point. They definitely have a bias against white people, and more importantly, they see everything through the prism of race. If the only difference you see between a Kyle Rittenhouse and this is race, you are a racist, and everyone in mainstream media, this is how they replied, with the exception of Fox News and a few places like that. Yeah. How did they all get it wrong? How does CNN not have it up now, at least 15 minutes ago? Darrell Brooks Jr. was released, just to be clear, this goes back to the looting problem, on a $1,000 bond 2 days ago for domestic abuse and bail jumping. He's also a registered sex offender. And just in case you won't see this on CNN, MSNBC, any of these places, believe your lying eyes and ears, here he is explaining the charges. By the way, like the wet bandits, incriminating himself on video.
And then as soon as we fall out, all of a sudden now I'm a pedophile. Let me explain that. 10 years ago, 2006, I caught a case with my oldest daughter's mama. Yes, my baby mama. She's from Oakland. I was busting moves in Nevada.
What does that mean?
I meet the bitch. She says she want to get down, so I'm pimping on the bitch.
It's a great hat.
Nevada. You know what I'm saying? I get cracked. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know the bitch was 16 at the time. She gave a statement to the police and told them, yeah, she was hoeing, that I was pimping, and that
winner,
she was 16,
man. What a winner.
That I didn't know that. Okay?
Monday motivation. I didn't know the bitch was 16.
Yeah.
Jeez. Guys,
Hey, is that a legal defense?
I think so.
She was 15. I don't know.
What am I supposed to do? Card every bitch?
Y'all
What
just
am I
stop,
supposed to
stop
do?
acting like this. Stop.
I don't have time to card the bitches between smacking and pimping.
Please.
I got a job to do.
I love haters.
Come on, I'm not a
Monday
pedophile.
motivation.
I'm just a pimp.
You know what I say to the haters? Shut up. I'm going to keep on living. Well, your haters are 14-year-old girls who you had raped. You say tomato. I say it's my job.
The family of your victims. Yeah, haters.
Yeah, haters.
Stop breaking the law, asshole!
And by the way, has anyone else also noticed that when people say, you know what I mean, it's usually because I don't?
Well, because no one.
I didn't know the bitch was 16. She said I was pimping. She was hoeing. You know what I mean? I actually have no reference point whatsoever.
Yeah, like you're gonna go. No, I totally get it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Please explain further.
I hate it when they're like, "I'm 16 after."
Right. It's like you're gonna respond as though when someone asks you about that Hall & Oates song that you're kind of familiar with. You're like, "Oh yeah, I remember that one," but you really don't. Yeah. Like, yeah, she was saying she was hoeing. I was pimping. You know what I mean? Yes.
Oh, you're 16, girl, but it really don't matter anyway.
Yes.
You can rely on getting my money. Go out there and get my money. You're a bitch, girl. You're turning tricks, girl.
Rich girl. It's rich girl.
Turning tricks, girl. What?
Rich girl.
I knew QB would get me.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Only the good get pimped young. That's what I said.
Gosh.
So, by the way, media hasn't done any digging. Now, people are wondering if there's a motivation here because it seems like a targeted attack.
Yeah.
His social media is full of pro-Black Lives Matter, which I define as a domestic terrorist group, an anti-Kyle Rittenhouse
Can
post.
we at this point?
He
Come
tweeted
on.
a photo of a MAGA hat that said, wire Kanye's mouth shut again. All caps. I don't know if that's the name of an album.
It's too wordy.
Facebook, it read, religion is white supremacy.
Ah, that's good.
I mean, come on, for crying! They still don't have it up at CNN. Look, why is this story being buried? Look, right now they're talking about it. Right now, let's bring it up on CNN. Right now, let's see if they mention the guy.
Within at least 2 feet, I could have touched the car going by.
Was the guy white or black?
He threw his child out of the way.
I'm getting tired of this accent.
Natasha Chen joins us now from the scene in Waukesha.
Just a little bit.
Natasha, what
No
more
offense.
are we learning?
We go now live in Waukesha to the Avery family. Yeah?
It does take the seriousness out of it.
I don't know what happened there with Teresa Hall back at the parade.
But the police really wouldn't answer any questions about what role that person played or anything that person said to them when he or she was taken into custody.
Wait, he or she? He or she? Come on, moderately Asian reporter Natasha Chen. Do you not know if it's a he or a she, or is this just your gender bending bullshit where you don't want to? Did you say he when you spoke with him? He was like, that's some bullshit. I am non-binary. What happened? He or she? Did you guys see
It's
this?
a girl.
Did everyone just see this in real time?
Wow.
Yeah.
This is the problem, is that this all creates racism between everybody. This divides the entire country. This is exactly what they want. That's why now parades are like...
Yeah.
Who's going to take their kid to a parade
Do black people not want safer parades?
Of course they do. It has nothing to do with. That's the problem. Is it's not about black people. It's not about white people. It's not about Asian people. It's about giving people who are criminals the green light to do whatever they want. That's the problem.
Well,
and then these assholes come out here and don't tell you. Sorry for my language if you got kids, but I'm not driving a car at you.
Yeah.
So.
Count your blessings instead of sheep.
Yes, but you have different people coming out and saying different things. So you have these news sources that basically convince you. They're basically turning you into a racist to feed their narrative.
They have a hit list here of information, and it doesn't include the guy.
Wow.
At all.
Not
at all.
Yeah, we don't have any information. Could you imagine this reporting 15 years ago?
I know. Well, it probably did happen. We just weren't able to fact check it. That's the issue.
Yeah,
it forces us to question every single story that we thought we knew because they were doing the exact same thing. It's just now, look, you are able to watch them live and you're able to watch us. They have 3 people on CNN right now. Is it okay? By the way, you guys hit the like button if you want me to go to see. I want to see right now in real time. Give them a little bit of time to see if they do the right thing. Can we do this?
I think so.
Because they've got 3 people. Let's see. If a single one of them, again, we have his information. We know what crimes he's committed. We know when he got out on bail 2 days ago and for which crimes. His name is Daryl Brooks Jr. Let's see if anyone says it.
What compelled this person to drive their car at that rate? This person, a crowd of people, gathered to celebrate the holidays. It's just confounding. But we're not going to get an answer to that right away. Certainly not until law enforcement feels more comfortable sharing some of those details. We've heard different reporting this morning that he may have been.
Well, I guess we'll never know what happened on that mysterious Thanksgiving Eve.
Corroborated that.
Yeah, we do have the guy in custody.
There is a person of interest. Do you mean when you reach through the driver's side window and pull him out?
Yeah, the guy.
Yeah.
Well, he's an
just
interesting
call him
person.
that. He's not interesting at all.
It's not the Dos Equis prick.
Some of the folks that he passed, at least initially, which is not what you typically see when someone attacks a large crowd with a vehicle.
Unless he's aiming for specific people.
They run a defense on him.
Again, he just defended him.
He just did.
He just defended him. Well, we don't know if one of, to be fair, Prosciutto, we don't know if one of those bitches owed him money. So we will wait for more information. She was 15. Yes, my point still stands. Bitch could have owed him money.
She was ho-ho-hoing, and he was just pimping.
Allison, Miss Camerota, who knows? You have got to keep your pimp hand strong. Back to you, Allison.
It's my understanding he was aiming for 16-year-olds.
Yes, because these are his primary employees.
Yes. Do you like
no word yet if he has a 401k.
Yes. Do you like the books behind me? I'm a piece of shit. Back to you, Ken.
Back to you.
Avenue after he's been inaugurated, the Secret Service completely.
Oh yeah, that guy really looks like he's gently driving.
Yeah.
I mean, he swerved from the crowd before he hit the crowd.
But I think what local officials will be questioning is how did they block the major access points to that route? We saw the use of some barricades that were easily penetrated.
He drove through them because it's a car and those are made of light wood.
Right.
They're not expecting somebody to drive into the crowd.
We have ensured, of course, with what we believed, and some people have said they've increased funding here. I have no idea if that's true. We have ensured that going forward, of course, with our limited budget, that we will block off the streets with entire wicker swing sets moving forward.
Yes, we.
In terms of that, too, we did see some changes, right, after other incidents had happened where vehicles were used as weapons. There's also, the fact that more people are.
Do you need any more proof that media is useless? I mean, we've already gone through comedy is useless because they want to be media, and media is useless because they're spineless pieces of garbage.
Well, they're hilarious.
Well, if you guys go back to the Trayvon Martin case, where not only did the president come out and say, if I had a son, he would look like Trayvon Martin, but I believe, was it NBC or ABC who played like an edited clip and made it a race thing by saying, oh, he's black. And it was like they left out the part right there where they said, is he white, Hispanic, black? And he was just responding. Zimmerman was just responding to the question.
And you know what? We can probably bring this up.
Oh, you mean the Mexican white supremacist?
Yeah. The Mexican white supremacist. Maybe the Mission Control can bring this up. I was doing an interview with Russia today, and I was doing it from my parents' house at that point on Skype. And as they were interviewing me, I said, and let me guess, you're probably going to run that photo of a 14-year-old Trayvon Martin, and they didn't have time to change it. It was on as I was saying it, and I couldn't see anything. So we can run that a little bit later. Just to give you an idea, there are a lot of people now who claim they've been on this bandwagon for a while. I've always said there is no neutral media. No. Can you guys comment to those who are watching, of course, in archive? What purpose does media serve? Honestly, what purpose
propaganda,
especially a 24-hour news cycle? Look,
inciting riots.
It used to be if you had the news at 7 or whatever time they would have it, news at 11, whatever it is, news at 5, however often they would have it. I think 4 times a day is about what they would have it, 3 or 4. They used to recap it so you knew what was going on. The whole idea behind 24-hour news was it could actually be proactive if there's a chase going on, if there's a manhunt going on. In this scenario, they have no interest, none whatsoever. How long before the Kyle Rittenhouse situation, that night, did it come out that he was a white supremacist or tied to militia? Right now, they have the police scanner audio.
Yeah.
They've caught the guy. They have his criminal record, and we don't know if he or she or Z in there could have been aggravated. In fact, because it was not a gay pride parade, and that's going to force us to take a good long hard look at ourselves. Back to you, Anderson.
Yeah, they have eyewitnesses. They have videotape of all of this. They had people just on saying I was within 2 feet. I could have reached out and grabbed the guy.
Yeah.
You couldn't give a description. Like
he or she.
Listen, hold on. It doesn't matter if this guy was black or white, unless it fits a narrative for them.
Right.
If it fits the narrative,
That's
then
what
it's
we're
a white
talking
guy that you have to be afraid of, which is what you're all being told right now. If it's a black guy, they don't want to offend anybody, and so they'll just cover that right up. Just
And
like
it
the
wouldn't
school
be
shooting.
so important if they didn't.
Yeah, school shooter. Absolutely, though. He's right. He's 100% right. They did that same thing.
With that school shooting, we were
Yes.
here. And I remember you were upset saying it seems like it happens all the time. And we were talking about how it was kind of a lot of people said it's a white person problem. It was a black kid, shot 3 people, including a teacher.
Looked like it was a drug thing.
Look
It
at
was
therapists. White
everywhere.
people don't even like themselves.
It's true.
You think we have a problem with you?
Seriously, we don't even have time
I don't have
for
enough
it.
time for that.
We don't identify with each other as brothers. If I see a guy getting wrestled to the ground and shot who's a redneck, I'm not like, he's one of mine. I'm
Right.
like, fucking good.
There's no
I didn't like
the
it
popcorn
anyway.
out.
there's no world star country.
Yeah, right. Why do you want to relate to the lowest people in your society?
Yeah.
Right.
There's no reason to do that. You're better than that.
That's
Don't
what-
let this media convince you that we're the bad guy, than anybody with a different shade of skin. The point is, if it's a black guy with dreadlocks who did the crime, say that. If it's a white guy with black hair holding an AK, say that.
Exactly. The problem here is they said initially, just like we just read for you the tweets, they said, I guarantee you it's a white guy. And then when they found out, then it was silence. So the lie is amplified, and then the truth is silent. That's the issue, too, that you need to understand. Amplified lies and silent truth.
Yep.
That's the big issue. It's not just the lies that you hear. It is the silent truths like you're seeing right now. Technically, it's not a lie for Natasha Chen there to say he or she.
She didn't know his pronouns.
Didn't
though.
know the pronouns.
Yeah.
You
But
don't
here's
wanna-
what it feeds
He just
into.
went in before he did his took his mugshot and then put on some lipstick and said, "I fuck me."
If you're a 20-year-old black man right now,
He
who
wouldn't,
doesn't-
though. He's not 16.
Well, that's true. If you're a 20-year-old black man right now, and all you do is listen to CNN and major news outlets, you do think that you are the problem because of your skin color and not your behavior. You do think that the world is against you, and you hear Kyle Rittenhouse, white supremacist. You hear all of this, and it leads to people tweeting those things. Oh, well, they'll probably claim self-defense because of there was probably a white guy in the car and he was threatened by the crowd. That's what leads to that. How do they not understand that they're creating future problems?
Well, we'll get to in a little bit, and we talked about this before. There's an example of that girl in Kenosha who was underage sex trafficked by people like this Daryl Brooks, and she killed him, burned down his house.
Fought back.
And I said, great. Make him look like the English patient for all I care.
How do you have empathy for a guy who stabbed people and then drove into a crowd of people, but you don't have empathy for a guy defending himself from a pedophile hitting him with a chain?
White.
Stop,
that's what it is.
Stop
Thanks.
with the dog whistles.
He had a scary-looking rifle, okay?
Yeah.
And it was semi-automatic. I mean,
which
that's
is
so
And we
close.
all
Which is
know-
Why would anybody
Nuke.
need that?
AR means assault rifle?
It
Because I
does.
read that on Twitter.
Yeah.
It does.
Natasha Chen said so.
I heard he played Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Once?
Are we done here?
Well, then he's
I
a
mean,
serial killer.
He's absolutely a serial killer. Hey, did this guy play Grand Theft Auto?
Oh, what?
San Andreas.
Oh,
I don't know. I'm not a
serial killer.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Video
It's a good
games.
game.
I played Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, and I really only broke my own neck.
I play Bond. I play Mario Kart.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
I do.
By the way, we got this chat from Zach French. Please shout out that Waukesha Memorial Hospital has put out an urgent request for blood donations.
Absolutely.
And the city of Waukesha has also
please.
tweeted out about a community fund.
Yeah.
great.
I'd give you my blood, but you'd die instantly.
You don't want to.
It would burn the bags.
Dave's like, I brought friends, not mine. No, no, no.
I don't need get a call getting from the Red Cross going, why would you send us this?
Again?
Biological warfare, Dave.
They looked at it under a microscope, and the microbes were smiling at me.
Oh, wow.
All right, so let's. It's
cured COVID.
It's Landau DNA. So let me go through before we go to Kyle Rittenhouse. What if Kyle Rittenhouse was black? By the way, smash that Rumble button if you're on Rumble right now. Smash that Rumble button. Smash it. Smash it. Smash it. Smash it. Smash it. Smash it. And of course, the same thing if you're on YouTube. We will be playing. They don't make them like they used to.
That's right.
On Mug Club today.
Yeah.
Before we get to Kyle Rittenhouse, what if Kyle Rittenhouse was black? Let's. And I'll present to you some arguments, but I think everyone has heard this at this point. It's such a lazy, shallow argument. I think we can make the same argument here.
I would hope that he got off.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
he's not
Same
black?
I don't know what he is. He kind of has a Jessica Alba quality to him.
I only watch right-wing news, and they never mentioned it.
Right, yeah.
He's one of the mixed community.
So remember how immediately after, let's first go through the worst takes of Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
Again, where people fear no accountability. Let's go back to the guy who everyone hated, President Donald Trump. Remember how he reacted immediately after Kyle defended himself in Kenosha?
Condemn the actions of vigilantes like Kyle Rittenhouse.
We're looking at all of it. That was an interesting situation. You saw the same tape as I saw, and he was trying to get away from them, I guess, it looks like, and he fell, and then they very violently attacked him, and it was something that we're looking at right now, and it's under investigation, but I guess he was in very big trouble. He would have been. He probably would have been killed. But it's under investigation.
I have to tell you, I am actually surprised at how there was zero embellishment there. I would have thought that
Looked to me like they were going at him with a nuclear bomb. Excuse me. Okay. And he, in fact, had nothing but a sling, like David. He was swinging it around. And then, and you could see the pedophile erection, who had the nuke. He had the nuke, and I hate that he had a nuke, but he had a nuke, and he had an erection. When you have an erection and a nuke, and all you have is a sling, I already have a statue, Rittenhouse.
Everything he said was 100% accurate, and he said, and we're still investigating it, but it looked like it was a bad situation. Seems like they were violently attacking him. He tried to run away. I think you've seen the same tape that I have. Of course, when he said, I think that you've seen the same tape, people at CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS, Young Turks said, "K?"
The Young Turks even admitted that the one woman from the Young Turks even admitted she got it wrong.
Anna.
Yeah, well, I think that's because some of those dollar bills lawsuits,
Right, but they had already started trying to corner him there. Would you speak out against the militia members like Kyle Rittenhouse? It's like, whoa. You didn't have any information yet. Like,
no, exactly.
Oh, God forbid a president gives a, direct and honest answer which ends up being exactly what happened and proven in court.
And not poop his pants. What does he think? Who do you think we take him for?
He then went to the Vatican and shat himself.
We have a bathroom incident.
Yeah, you're right. It takes 6 hours for your Imodium to kick in.
The last person to shit his pants at the White House before Biden was Al Roker.
Yeah, that's true. Didn't he shart?
Yeah, he did.
He did.
Oh, no. He did. He threw out his underwear.
He did. He threw out his underwear at the White House.
Barack Obama.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, nothing like perpetuating the negative fat guy stereotype. What are you, a clump?
I bet you before he lost the weight, he wouldn't even notice when he sharted. He would just get home and be like, I must have done it today.
Another one of those days.
Oh, this ain't sunny at all.
But he was like happy about it because he's Al Roker.
He's stopping at the train on the way home out to Yonkers and getting a shoe shine.
What is that whiff?
This guy sitting next to me on the subway smells like shit.
Yeah. Can you get the shit out of my El Roca shoes?
Wait, you mean these shoes were Cordovan? Oh, I thought they were black.
Big diabetes shoes.
It's get it out with the jaws of life.
Imagine the medical shoes.
We have that video that you asked for with you and Trayvon Martin.
Oh, with me and Trayvon Martin? Okay, all right. Let's show. If I remember correctly, now keep in mind what I am just talking into a computer. I cannot see anything. It's just Skype.
Yeah.
And from what I remember, I called it without even being able to see it. But that's not really the argument people are bringing here. Just like you guys decided to show the picture of Trayvon Martin, I don't know why the picture is several years old, whereas the Zimmerman picture is only his mugshot. This man hasn't seen a trial. He's been convicted guilty by the American public. Spike Lee and Roseanne Barr publicly tweeting his address. Right there. This is not a man who people want to see right there in the production studio, someone's going, fuck!
Abort, don't put he did it.
Do you have a picture from his 5th birthday party?
Yeah.
They should do that with the killer.
Like, as you can see, here he is in his Donatello pajamas.
And here's Zimmerman as a Boy Scout.
Yes. All right. So let's go. So Donald Trump responded that way. On the flip side, we had Quinn Hillier from the Washington Examiner immediately published this article, Don't Cry for Kenosha Killer Kyle Rittenhouse. Nicole Hannah-Jones of the 1619 Project infamously tweeted, in this country you can even kill white people and get away with it if those white people are fighting for black lives. This is a legacy of 1619. He carried a gun. He could not legally have illegally crossed state lines and killed 2 people. But sure, y'all believe in law and order. So everything about that tweet is wrong.
It's so bad.
Corey Bush tweeted, the judge, the jury, the defendant.
Grammar?
It's white supremacy in action. This system isn't built to hold white supremacists accountable. It's why black and brown folks are brutalized and put in cages while white supremacist murderers walk free. I'm hurt. I'm angry. I'm heartbroken. And so this leads into, obviously, the horrible takes, the inaccuracy. And when you set it up, right, you set it up with a lie, And you don't really tell people that that's just an inference that you're making. Then it allows you to use it as a springboard to create a straw man argument, right? They're trying to say if Kyle were black, would have been arrested, would have been murdered, but just so you don't take it from me, here you go.
I do still feel very strongly if he was a different ethnicity or people group, yeah, he'd be gone. It wouldn't be no, he's a hero and this, that, and the third.
Incorrect.
They would have said that he was underage. He traveled to a different
smart idea
state
wearing a rolling paper shirt.
A firearm that didn't belong to him.
It's not okay for the judicial system to be blatantly and obviously stacked against people of color.
This is still a show?
It's not
so
okay
fake.
for there to be an entirely different set of rules for white people.
There's not.
But I don't care about Kyle Rittenhouse. I don't care about that racist judge.
He's not.
And I don't care about how
Why is
that
she
jury must
dressed
be.
like an animatronic
White
musician
people have been
at a
getting away
kid's
with murder
restaurant?
since time began.
Yeah, exactly. It's like at a Chuck E. Cheese. You go in and be like, hey, what's that? That's the Amber Ruffin robot. You say it's your birthday!
That was eerie. That was pretty good.
Like she looks like they took her out of Discovery Zone and gave her a talk show.
She's always like very tight.
Yeah, she's very like.
And don't you love that first guy, by the way, with wear a rolling paper shirt. It's like, why'd you pull me over, officer? I don't know, because your eyes are bloodshot, you smell like burnt onions, and you have a T-shirt that says, I love weed. Do you need me to continue?
That was Jacob Blake.
That was
the
Jacob
first
Blake.
guy was Jacob Blake.
Right, I know. Wait, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That was Jacob Blake?
Yeah. Yeah.
The guy.
I didn't. Until they said it.
You mean, I'm sorry, the wife, the man who hit his
The
wife.
man who digitally raped his wife and violated a restraining order.
Right. I'm sorry.
Let's rehab your image with rolling papers.
Yeah. The man who should know that actions have consequences more than anyone right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. You mean
Jacob
the
Blake.
multi-millionaire because of white guilt?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because all he had was a knife.
I mean,
You don't bring a gun to a knife fight.
that's true. You lose the right to self-defense.
You die.
Yeah, some people
That's what
should take a beating.
That's what a good person does.
You take a knifing. I mean, if you've brought a gun, you just take a knife. All of us take a knifing.
By the way, I'll
while.
talk about that. I was right about Kyle Rittenhouse's defendant. What a useless pussy. So you've heard his interview.
lawyer,
since
you
then.
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
his lawyer. Sorry.
Well, yeah, that guy's got to try it. Oh, his lawyer?
His lawyer was awful. Remember I said he didn't make a good. He didn't. Yeah. Anyway, let's go. Remind me to go back to it. Let me write.
Kyle's own lawyer, you mean?
Remember I said his arguments were
Richards.
bad?
Yeah.
And
Which
then
one,
he
the-
went on Chris Cuomo and the
cut.
stuff that he said since this guy should never have been handling the case. Kyle is very fortunate.
Yeah.
Which one?
The crew cut.
The guy with the buzz cut who's sitting there talking about, people should mind their own business and not carry guns.
Hard R. I'm not going to say it.
Anyway. So a lot of blue
Oh,
marks.
damn, man.
Let me just go through this real quick. A lot of blue check marks on Twitter have had similar opinions. What if Kyle Rittenhouse was black? Bubba Noose in my garage, Wallace, said, let the boy be black and it would have been life. Hell, he would have had his life taken before the bullshit trial. Sad. Julian Castro. Remember he ran for office?
I do, yeah.
Remember that piece of shit?
Yeah, he still is.
He said, you know damn well that if Kyle Rittenhouse were black, he would have been found guilty in a heartbeat or shot dead by cops on the scene.
Nope.
Comedian Kamal Bell. Have you ever performed with him? Or? Yeah.
No, I've never met him.
Okay, you're lucky.
I haven't been asked to not be on a show by him.
Good. Count your blessings instead of sheep.
I've never met him, but I do know that he likes to push propaganda.
Yes. So he wrote, if you're a black teenage male, here are some things you can't expect to get away with. Number one, illegally getting a gun. Okay, good. Kyle didn't do that. 2, claiming you're protecting property that isn't yours and you weren't asked to protect. That's incorrect. 3, killing 2 people with a gun. 4, fleeing the scene. You ain't Kyle Rittenhouse. He turned himself into the police. He went to the police immediately. They said, get off the road. He said, yeah, but I just shot a guy. They said, yeah, we all have, kid. Get off the road. And then he went to the police station after that. Not the same thing, Kamau Bill. Now, let's be clear about this. I want to say once and for all, I want black people to be able to protect their neighborhoods, their family, the exact same as white people, as Asian people, as owners of Nordstrom, or the owner of the little trinket shop down the street, or the owner of the franchise Papa John's, or the local Italian restaurant, or the neighborhood watch. I want everyone to be able to protect their family, what's theirs, and we need to stop this culture of victim. And what do I mean? Victimizing people who are not engaged in crime. There's no justice in mowing over people at a parade. Let's defend it 0. There's no justice in burning down a Walgreens. Let's defend it 0. There's no justice in spray painting dicks all over a courthouse, in trying to kill a kid at a... There's no justice in burning down a used car lot. Let's be clear about this. And I want these people, criminals, to be afraid of law-abiding citizens from all the colors of the rainbow. Am I clear about that? So let me give you some examples of black people, first off, who either have been treated similarly or we would support being treated similarly. It's not just a black or white thing. Keep in mind, the Fort Worth shooter, black kid, shot 3 people, out on $75,000 bail. Let's be really clear about that. Also on Friday, Andrew Coffey, a black man, was cleared of second-degree felony murder, 3 counts of attempted first-degree murder. The jury found it was self-defense. What happened is he shot at some deputies during an early morning raid. Yep. What I believe happened is they poked a hole through a window. He thought it was rifle fire. He shot at them. They shot his girlfriend, and they charged him with killing his girlfriend. He was just cleared.
Good. Yeah, as he should be.
Yeah. If they didn't do their jobs and announce who they were, then that's the kind of stuff, unfortunately, that happens.
And it is different from Breonna Taylor. Anyway, we'll get into that another day. Let me give you some examples of other people who we've supported, black people who are carrying guns or using force. David Dorn, right? Former police officer who was shot dead, and we raised money for him. That was an absolute tragedy. Crystal Kaiser, she was jailed for killing her pimp and burning down his house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now I believe it was also Kenosha, they're trying to charge her and say, well, she only did it because she wanted to steal his BMW. Okay, to be clear, the authorities had videotape of this man sexually assaulting minors. She was pimped by him, just like the guy, or she, who ran over people at the parade, right? This lady, this girl, Crystal Kaiser, was underage, was being pimped, sex trafficked.
Yeah.
She'd had enough. She killed a man, burned down his house, and they're trying to say, oh, but she did it to steal his car. You know what? Sometimes that's the booty of war.
Yeah, exactly.
You take your plunder. I wouldn't care if she cleaned out his jewelry box and took his flat screen. He was sex trafficking minors. It was on camera. But, of course, the local authorities, and I'm not sure if the FBI was involved. We don't have all the details yet. They wanted to build a stronger case, even though they knew they had it on camera, him sexually abusing minors.
But who cares? She wouldn't be in the mentally right frame of mind as a minor being sex trafficked.
Yeah. Right.
Well, right.
Who gives a crap what she thought the reason was?
You know what we do in Hollywood when we want you to hate the villain even more?
Yeah.
Masturbate into a plant?
No, we make them sex traffickers. That's what we do every single time. We make them the lowest form of scum that we can possibly imagine, and this girl was fighting back. Would we ever blame anybody that's being sex trafficked for killing their assailant? No.
I wouldn't blame her for cutting off his nether regions and shoving it in his mouth.
And then killing him.
Yeah.
Or letting him enjoy the taste.
Yeah.
I would let him live at that point.
Yeah. You let him live for a little bit, and then burn the house alive. Burn the house.
This is all hypothetical.
This is hypothetical. Yeah. I'm saying I don't think anyone would blame a girl who was being, black girl, to be clear, sex trafficked, underage. I don't even care if she chose to be a prostitute. Does not matter. Hey, have you noticed a theme here? We don't like pedophiles and child rapists.
No. Yeah.
Whereas Mark Ruffalo was calling Joseph Rosenbaum JoJo. Like, it's one thing.
JoJo. What is wrong with you, man?
I don't understand.
It's one thing.
He's honestly the worst
person
alive.
Oh, I'm going to miss JoJo. What do you have in your inbox, Mark Ruffalo?
There's a lot of those actors doing that.
I know.
Pedro Pascal did the same thing.
Kerry
It's
Washington
like,
said that
you?
his life matters. You're like, no, it doesn't.
No, it really doesn't.
It
really
didn't matter at all.
And here's
he
the thing.
raped children.
Let's be clear, too. When people, it doesn't mean that someone who commits a mistake, someone, let's say, who at one point commits an armed robbery
That's not a
when they're
mistake.
young. No, that's not a mistake. It's not a mundane detail, Michael. We need to differentiate between people who make mistakes. And when you look at people like this person, Darrell Brooks, I believe, is it Darrell Brooks Jr., is that his name?
Yeah.
You look at Joseph Rosenbaum. You look at the man who was trafficking, is it Crystal Kaiser? Crystal Kaiser. It's hard for me to remember these names. You look at all of these people. You look at the serial wife beater, the guy who stabbed his ear, Huber. You look at people, there's a certain point where it's no longer a mistake, but people who only exist to leave harm to humanity and society in their wake do not deserve the same treatment and rights as other people. We're not talking, everyone makes mistakes, and some people get some tough breaks too. I think there is a difference between someone stealing a loaf of bread and someone who looted a Nordstrom, who, by the way, has a rap sheet a mile long. This is the 19th Nordstrom this quarter that he's looted between wife beatings and sex trafficking. There's a huge difference between people who make mistakes, people who have committed crimes, and people whose existence has resulted in nothing but net pain and damage to the innocent. And with Kyle Rittenhouse, those were the only people who were harmed. That's relevant. And in this case, right now, that's what we're dealing with in Waukesha, Wisconsin, and they're still not telling you about it. That is weird to me. It is weird to me when Mark Ruffalo says, Jojo, why is CNN so hell-bent on defending underage sex traffickers? Why are they so hell-bent on venerating child rapists like Rosenbaum? At a certain point, you do have to ask yourself a question. You don't defend anyone with this much zeal. I wish I loved anybody as much as Mark Ruffalo loves the generic pedophile.
Just so tired of this.
And let me give you to drink the Kool-Aid or the taint juice.
Yes, the taint juice, Don Lemon.
No.
Lemonades.
We're back.
Not everyone is Anderson in the green room, Don. So
I agree with.
Yeah, I know. All right, we're gonna go. Well, we're gonna go to Mug Club where we get into less trouble. But let me give you some examples. People say, "What?"
Yeah, we don't want to get pulled off here for disliking pedophiles.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. No, because if they get rid of us, well, then it's going to be a problem because then they'll be like, wow, if we get rid of them, we have to get rid of all our pedophile pornography, and YouTube can't do that.
Yeah, and you don't want to make Mark Ruffalo angry.
No, you don't want to make him angry. You're just going to log into his YouTube and look at his favorited videos. Go,
oh.
What does he become, a pedophile?
Susan!
Yeah. He becomes a giant green pedophile.
Yes.
And Hulk smash! No.
Yeah. And unlike Hulk, the shorts are off.
The shorts are off.
They are. They rip right off.
You won't like me when.
In fact, that's his shirt's still on. The only thing that rips is the shorts.
Yeah, and he still has long Argyle socks. All of a sudden, he grows like a werewolf.
Yeah.
He grows pedophile glasses.
It's a giant green gene-ripping boner.
He's just a giant green Stanley Tucci from the Lovely Bones. Just turns around and be polite. That's the other rule. Always be polite. So let's look at some other. Let's look at some other rules here. People don't understand. Black people in this country also statistically get. It's true. Sometimes different kinds of sentencing. Let's look at what that looks like. Let's use some examples first. Timothy Simpkins shot 3 people in school, $75,000 bail. That's the Fort Worth situation. Terrell Josie accused of shooting and killing a Detroit firefighter. Bail reduced from $1 million to $100,000. George Howard charged with domestic violence, released on a $1,500 bond paid for by the Minneapolis Freedom Fund. No word if, by the way, this has been removed for GoFundMe. Kamala Harris contributed to that fund. He was quickly charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder after being released. Let's look at the idea that cops are more likely to shoot black men for no reason. It's open season, because that's a justification for the racist dog whistles that you actually see from CNN. Right. Yeah. Cops are actually 18.5 times more likely to be shot by black men than to shoot unarmed black men. To be clear, we have the sources, all references available, loudofcreditor.com, link in the description. 18.5 times. I got it wrong because I was going by memory. I think 2 weeks ago I said 16 times. I undershot it. 18.5 times. Keep in mind that there's a higher percentage of police officers who are black than the general percentage of the population. So black men's lives are in danger. 18.5 times more likely to be in danger than even a black man committing a crime. What about the black officers? We've talked about them. We've raised money for them. Between 2010 and 2019, when cops are feloniously killed, it is, 303 were killed by whites, 199 were killed by blacks. But take into account that black Americans only make up about 12% of the population. It's not even close. People need to understand that black men shoot cops in record numbers right now. That is important. It does go both ways. And by the way, police officers are actually 23.5% less likely to shoot black people than white people. People don't understand that statistic. They try and massage the statistics and say, well, actually it's unarmed black men versus why. This is when they say an unarmed black man is more likely to be shot than an unarmed white guy. This is a thought exercise. Pick the part out of that should raise a question. Whoa, wait. Why just unarmed? What about the total shootings? Because you've now added a caveat that, by the way, can't be quantified in just that short statement, because we also see that black American males commit violent assault and battery on officers at a rate exponentially higher than white people. So unarmed, well, of course there are going to be more discharges of weapons. When you look at the total number of black people shot by police officers versus white people, a white person is more likely to be shot by a police officer. And just to be clear, it shouldn't be reliant on race. Just like Mr. Coffee, I am thrilled that he has gotten off. I hope that this girl who shot her underage sex trafficking connoisseur and killed him, I hope that she gets off. And you know what? Maybe there'll be some justice for the bitches, while I was busting moves in Nevada from this guy who plowed people down at a parade who also engaged in pimping minors. But by the way, what are we? 10:20. So we're 11:26. This is Monday, 11:26 Eastern, and CNN has not told you that it's. Let me read this again. Let me go right back, just really quickly for a quick contrast. So, the man's name is Gerald. You have this,
Mr. Brooks Jr.
Oh, so they don't have any information at all, according to CNN.
Yeah, okay, so it is 10:27 a.m. Eastern. By the way, smash that like button if you're watching on YouTube, and I want you to comment as to how useless media is and whether
Mark Ruffalo, by the way.
Where?
His fist.
Oh, that's his fist. Yeah.
The like button. That's not.
That's the fist that he wants to.
Edward Norton, if you want.
He wants to use
Edward
it in a
Norton.
jamboree. So,
Eric Bana.
Daryl Brooks Jr., it's 10:27 a.m. 11:27 a.m. Eastern. Daryl Brooks Jr., this is the man. We just showed you the police scanner tape. Okay? This is the man who ran people over. He was released on a $1,000 bond 2 days ago for domestic abuse bail jumping. He's a registered sex offender, and he admitted in his own words to pimpin' hoes while he was busting moves in Nevada. He has pro-Black Lives Matter, anti-Kyle Rittenhouse posts, anti-police posts. We found this on social media. All of this we have given to you. His name, description, past criminal history. It is 10:27 Central, 11:27 Central, a.m. on Monday. And what is CNN giving you? He or she who may have committed the crime. There you go. I don't think you should ever trust our institutions again. YouTube, piss off.